We present an approach to generate virtual activity snippets, which comprise sequenced keyframes of multi-character, multi-object interaction scenarios in 3D environments, by learning from recordings of human scene interactions. Here is an overview of our approach, which consists of 2 stages. First, we use a sequential deep graph generative model with a temporal module to iteratively generate keyframe descriptions, which represent abstract interactions using graphs. Second, we devise an optimization framework to instantiate the activity snippets in virtual 3D environments guided by encoded relations in the keyframe descriptions. We use graphs to represent keyframe descriptions. In this example, blue nodes in a keyframe description denote characters, and red nodes denote objects. Edges of different types present their attachment relations. Position-based relations, orientation-based relations, and self-status. Interactions in one keyframe are abstracted using a graph, which is used to generate succeeding keyframe descriptions, conditioned on an input activity label. A graph summary is passed into a temporal function, which outputs a generation signal. Another termination function decides whether the keyframe description's generation should terminate or should continue. A next keyframe description is produced by the generator, which is a deep graph generative network. This generation works iteratively. To instantiate the activity snippet based on the generated keyframe description, we convert relations encoded in edges into pairwise constraints. One main type is position-based constraints. For example, if the character sits on the side of the table, we constrain the distance to the table to be lower than a threshold. If the character is in contact with a laptop, the laptop should be within an accessible distance. Another main type is orientation-based constraints. Here, the character looks at the laptop, thus her facing direction should be towards the front side of the laptop. Given a list of such constraints, we employ an optimization framework to automatically assign placements of characters and objects. It first triggers a coarse optimization on the 2D plane and only considers the position-based constraints, and only includes translations of instances. The coarse 2D optimization result is used to initialize another fine 3D optimization. In this stage, both position-based and orientation-based constraints are considered, and thus both translations and rotations are included. We show examples of generated and instantiated activity snippets. In a serve food activity, the waitress observes the customer's needs and delivers food to them one by one. For the same serve food activity label, we show another generated activity snippet. In a barber service activity, the barbers serve the customers and use different tools alternately. In a front desk reception activity, the waiter guides the customer to the receptionist and leaves later. In a presentation activity, the two presenters actively discuss with each other and refer to content shown on the screen from time to time. Here are additional results including an award speech activity, a play with children activity, a safety check activity, and a supermarket checkout activity. We conducted an experiment to demonstrate that our approach can learn from synthetic data. We create training data by simulating interactions in the video game Overcooked, and this example shows two chefs' collaborations in a prepare burger activity. Our approach can be extended to track the player's behaviors, and dynamically generate and instantiate the next keyframe descriptions. At each keyframe, our approach waits until the player has taken an action, then it updates the corresponding changes onto the current keyframe description, and generates and instantiates a complete next keyframe description accordingly. In comparison to fully virtual scenarios, mixed reality requires coping with both real and virtual instances concurrently. Our approach first extracts the real scene graph from the physical environment, and uses it as a partial keyframe description for generating activity snippets. This video shows a serve food activity snippet in mixed reality from the player's first-person view. This is the end of our video. Thank you for watching.